So I'm taking this cute little Raspberry Pi.
And I'm putting a dark web website on it.
You wanna try it? In this video, I'm walking you through every step. Yes, it's up. How cool is that? All you'll need is this little $35 microcomputer, a Raspberry Pi, or really any computer in your house. And we're going to host a dark web website. And seriously, it's super easy. It takes about 5 minutes and it's awesome. Also, what is the dark web? And why are we doing this? We'll cover that too. So yeah, get your coffee ready. This is gonna be crazy. Oh, and by the way, have you hacked the YouTube algorithm today? If you haven't, man, hit that like button, subscribe, notification bell, comment. Let's hack YouTube today. Ethically, of course.
Okay, the dark web. Sounds pretty scary, right?
You know, it actually isn't. I mean, sure, there are some bad things on there, bad people selling bad things, but it's not all bad. In fact, the dark web was created for you, to keep you safe, to keep me safe. It protects your identity. Even though most of the time you can steal someone's identity on the dark web. We'll talk about that later. But seriously, here's how it works. So right now on the regular internet, when you go to a website, you're being tracked. For example, me. When I navigate to, let's say, google.com, Google knows who I am. They know where I am. They can see my IP address. Like, you wanna see? Let's try it. And many of you already know this. If I go to google.com and I type in what's my IP address, Google knows. And I can also see Google's IP address. We see each other, I know where he is, he knows where I am. Basically, no anonymity, or we're not anonymous. And by the way, it's not just me and Google who know each other. Every router and hop in between knows who I am and what website I'm accessing. But the dark web is different. When I navigate to a dark web website, who I am and how I got there, it's hidden. No one can see it. Poof, untraceable. Well, almost. Nothing is foolproof. But this comes pretty stinking close. The website I'm accessing knows nothing about me. Also, I don't know anything about the website I'm accessing. Like nothing. I don't know the IP address, I don't know where it is. The only thing I do know is the web address, the domain name, and that's it. But how does this voodoo happen? It's magic, it is. Everything with IT and computers is magic. But seriously, we use an onion. No, legit, it's called Tor, or the Onion Router. Tor is an open source software that's designed for anonymity. It lives on top of the internet, it's an overlay network, and it's basically thousands of these things called onion routers, or onion relays. I think there's actually over 7,000 right now across the world. Now, to access the dark web or this Tor onion network, you'll need a Tor browser. There are a ton of them nowadays, I'll show you my favorite here in a moment. But you get this Tor browser, and that gives you access to the onion network or the dark web. And when I attempt to navigate to my dark web website, this is what happens. This is the magic behind how you are anonymous. Tor will randomly select 3 onion relays or 3 onion routers across the globe. And it's random. This is called an onion circuit, and it's designed to keep you hidden. Each hop, each relay will encrypt your traffic and hide who you are, making it pretty darn impossible to track you. And the dark web website, it does the same kind of thing, so you're actually meeting in the middle of the dark web somewhere, in the middle of the Tor network. No one knows where the website is or what its IP address is, and no one knows where you are or what your IP address is. Hidden. Now this is super high level, but don't you worry, you better believe we're going deeper. We're gonna get crazy nerdy into the deep dark web secrets, but first, how do you even get on the dark web? Let's go ahead and check that out. Let's launch a dark web browser and try to go to a dark web website. So my favorite dark web browser is the Brave browser. Now it's a regular web browser, but it has a function to get you on the Tor network. And yeah, when you launch it, it is a regular web browser. But if you go to the top right up here, we'll click those 3 lines and we'll click on New Private Window with Tor. Click on that, and that's it. I mean, you're on the dark web right now. So let's go to a dark web website. Now there are legit, like, regular websites on the dark web. For example, Facebook is on the dark web. Let's try it out. Facebook core www.i.onion and go. Now notice one thing, actually 2 things. First, it's freaking slow. You're going between a bunch of onion routers that could be spread across the globe. Like, look right now. I don't speak that. I have no idea what that is. Can you tell me what that is? That's how you know you're anonymous, when Facebook thinks you speak a different language. So Tor can be slow, and also notice that we use the .onion at the end of that address. That's how you can differentiate a dark web address. Every one of them are gonna end in .onion instead of .com or .tech or .coffee, NetworkChuck.coffee. Now they don't all look very friendly like Facebook core www.i.onion. No, they normally look like this. For example, DuckDuckGo, a popular search engine that's known for privacy, is this right here. 3G2UP, just a randomly generated string. And that's what yours will look like too. That's how most of the dark web websites are. For Facebook to get this address, it took some power. I'll explain that here in a moment. Now, browsing the dark web is pretty straightforward, kind of. I mean, you have to know where things are. Speaking of which, I'm not gonna show you where the bad stuff is. Because yeah, there is bad stuff out there. For example, your information is probably somewhere on the dark web. Social security info, passwords, emails. Bad people with bad intentions will use the magic that is the dark web to hide themselves. Which again, I'll show you how the hiding works. It's amazing, just pure magic. But they'll use that magic to hide their services to sell your stuff on dark web marketplaces. I know for a fact that my stuff has been on dark web marketplaces. My passwords have been sold. So what do you do about that? How can you prevent that? You have to find a tool to keep you safe. Personally, I use a product like Dashlane. Dashlane is the sponsor of this video, and it's kind of like your digital wallet or vault, helping you keep track of your stuff and keeping your digital identity safe. So let me ask you a question. Is your stuff on the dark web? You may not know, but it probably is there. A tool like Dashlane will actually tell you. It'll have dark web monitoring, and it'll routinely send you emails saying, hey, we found your passwords there. Change them right now. And by the way, I get these alerts all the time, and I do go change my passwords, which is what you should do routinely. Even if you don't get that alert, please just change your password like every 90 days. Which you're probably thinking, Chuck, that's kind of hard. How do you manage all those passwords? Dashlane, they have a pretty great password manager to help you change your passwords, keep them in one location, and it's secure. It's also a place where you can throw your personal info in there, so like credit cards, addresses, bank information, and it will autofill on the websites you obviously want it to autofill in. So it is convenient, and it's also safe. Now, Dashlane also has a killer VPN. Now, you know, I've demonstrated like 50 times how important it is to have a VPN, especially when you're surfing the internet on public Wi-Fi. People are gonna hack you. So using a VPN like Dashlane will keep your internet traffic hidden from prying eyes, keep you safe from like man-in-the-middle attacks and your internet provider seeing your stuff. And you can also pretend to be somewhere else like Germany or Canada or England and watch cool shows that you couldn't normally watch here in the US or wherever else you are. Maybe vice versa. Maybe you're in England, you want to watch something in the US. Whatever, it all works. So anyways, dark web monitoring, password management, VPN, all in one, Dashlane is pretty killer. And it's on whatever device you need it to be on. Phone, tablet, computer, PC, Mac, Linux. So if you find this as helpful as I do, you can try this for free on your first device. So check it out, link below, dashlane.com/NetworkChuck. Again, first device is free, and if you decide to upgrade to premium, you get 50% off with my code, NetworkChuck. So yeah, the dark web is scary, but it's also really, really cool. Let's talk about that. We got you on the dark web, but now how do we get your Raspberry Pi on the dark web, your dark web website? Let's dive into how that works, and then we'll walk through how to actually do it. Now, I am going to walk through detailed steps of how to get your Raspberry Pi on the dark web, but just an overview. Of course, first you'll need a website, and we'll get that set up. We're going to be using Nginx. Super quick and simple, don't worry. We'll also install Tor, the Onion router, and this is where the magic happens. The first thing we'll see once you set up Tor is you'll already have your address, your Onion address. Let's just use DuckDuckGo's for example. It'll look something like this. At the same time, Tor will also get you connected to the Tor network, or the dark web. And here's what happens, and it's so amazingly cool. Watch this. Oh, and also, real quick before I forget, this is officially called Tor Hidden Services. Or actually, I think it's now called an Onion service. I don't know. Look it up. So anyways, back to magic. So the Tor service on your Raspberry Pi will need to advertise itself out to the dark web so people can get to it. Let me get my dark web back out here. My giant cloud of onions. The Tor service on your Raspberry Pi will randomly select 3 onions or 3 relays to form connections with. Let's see, one in France, one in Germany, one in Budapest. These will be your website's introduction points. Now, one thing to note, your Raspberry Pi is not directly connecting to these relays. No. It's forming an onion circuit, which means just like when your web browser was trying to access a dark web website, this will also choose random relays. Let's say this guy right here and this guy over here and make that connection. And that goes for each one. Your website has 3 introduction points, and they're all through an onion circuit, making it pretty dang impossible for anyone to track where your website is from any introduction point. Once your service has these 3 introduction points and the chains, the onion chains to them, the service will take these and add it to its onion service descriptor. It'll also add its public key and sign that sucker with its private key. Now we're almost done. It'll then take that onion service descriptor and upload that to a distributed hash table. It's essentially a table of dark web websites distributed to the Onion network routers. So when I decide to go to this dark web website, first I have to know the .onion address, otherwise I'm out of luck. And the dark web does not have great search engines. In fact, it's not indexed at all. So I type that address in, the hash table is searched to say, hey, where is this thing at? And we're given the 3 introduction nodes. My Tor browser will choose one at random, let's say this guy right here, and then I'll form my onion circuit to him, selecting them at random and making my connection to the introduction node. And then it gets even crazier, like secret agent stuff. So then my browser, me over here, I then pick another Tor relay node, another random router out in the Tor network, maybe this guy right here. I'll ask him to be my rendezvous point. This is a place where I'm going to meet this website, where I'm going to access it. I choose it randomly, I make a Tor circuit to it. Let's get my rendezvous Tor circuit. I'm running out of onion routers out here. Let's see, we'll do this one, and rendezvous. So as of now, where I want to meet this website is a secret. No one else knows but me. But now I need to let the dark web website I want to visit know about this secret place. I'm going to do that through the introduction point, which, we already have a connection to. Oh, and I almost forgot. The rendezvous point also has a secret passphrase, because what secret clubhouse would not have a secret passphrase? It might be crackers or something like that. I'm sure it's more secure. Then, using the introduction point of the onion service, the one I'm connected to, I send the location of our rendezvous point and the secret phrase. This is getting crazy messy. And remember, my dark web website also has an onion circuit to the introduction point. It's a crazy secure, isn't it? Holy crap. So I send my rendezvous point information and my secret phrase over this onion circuit, through the introduction point of course, to the dark web website, or my Raspberry Pi. Once he has those super secret details like our secret meeting spot, he'll then make his own connection to the rendezvous point, of course forming another onion circuit, and they're connected. As long as he says the secret password. Knock knock, what's the password? Crackers. And then he's connected. And now, finally, the rendezvous point will connect me to this website, exchanging secure encrypted messages. Now, this is crazy, right? Like, it's a jumbled mess. And I kind of did that on purpose because I wanted to illustrate how insanely secure this was. How in the world would anyone find and track your location using this? Like, it's insane. Now, just to simplify it real quick. Browser. I attempt to navigate to this onion address, the dark web website. This, by the way, is the public key of my Tor service here over on the Raspberry Pi. The Tor browser will use the Tor network and look up this address on the distributed hash table. It locates the onion service description, onion service descriptor. It will use the public key to verify it is the correct onion service descriptor, and it also receives the 3 introductory nodes. It will pick one of these nodes at random to connect with. It will form a Tor circuit to connect to it, and it will also go find a rendezvous point and give it a secret phrase. Again, forming a Tor circuit to that. I'll then introduce myself to the dark web website. Hello, how you doing? Here's our meeting place. Here's our secret passcode. I'll see you there. And then the dark web website will form another Tor circuit to the rendezvous point, give it the password, and now we're finally talking. Now we can finally visit the website. Keeping in mind, all these Tor relays are completely randomly chosen. They could be anywhere in the world. This is crazy. So now how do we do this? How do we make our dark web website? How do we do this right now? Let's do it. And it takes, again, I'm telling you, 5 minutes and all this magic happens. Okay, real quick, what do you need? If you're going to use a Raspberry Pi, well, then you'll need a Raspberry Pi. And you'll need all the essentials. So the SD card USB adapter, power cable, all that stuff. If you don't have a Raspberry Pi, then get one. They're like $35, a bit more to get all the accessories, but dude, they're amazing. Now, if you don't want to use a Raspberry Pi, then any Linux virtual machine, Linux computer, Linux server will do. And again, it doesn't matter if it's on the public internet, behind a firewall in your home, this will work. And then of course, coffee. You need coffee. NetworkChuck.coffee. Now, if you're not using a Raspberry Pi, you can go ahead and skip ahead. But if you do have one, how do you set this up? Especially if you're starting from scratch, brand new. Now, I'm gonna go pretty quick because I've done this a lot on my videos. If you want a slower version that you can follow along with, check it out right here. Anyways, first, prep your SD card. So go ahead and plug that sucker into your SD card reader, your USB adapter, and get that plugged into your computer. I'll use my favorite Raspberry Pi imager, Raspbian. I'll choose my operating system. It's gonna be Raspbian, which is the Raspberry Pi OS, 32-bit. Choose my SD card, the one I just plugged in. Nope, not that one. This one, 31 gigs. Whew, that was close. And then I'll go ahead and write that sucker right now. Go. Now this will take a bit. It's gonna download Raspbian and then write it to your SD card. Perfect time for a coffee break. And then do the basic getting started stuff. Connect it to a network. For a network, wired or Ethernet is fine. I'll connect mine. And then bonus, set up a static IP if you want, but it's not required. And then if you want to access your Raspberry Pi remotely over SSH like I do, go ahead and go to the Start button right there and click on Preferences and Raspberry Pi Configuration. We're going to click on over to Interfaces, click on SSH to enable it, click Enable, and OK. I'm gonna shut mine down real quick and move it out of the way. Okay, gonna plug this bad boy back in, get it booted, and I'll give it a moment, coffee break, and then I'll SSH into it. So my Raspberry Pi, he's ready. Let's SSH into him real quick. I'm gonna launch just CMD in Windows, my command prompt, and then I'll SSH into my Raspberry Pi by doing SSH pi at the IP address I set, 10.7.1.79. And I'll see if it works. Yeah, I do accept the signature and that password I also set. Here we go. We are in. The username will be pi for you, by the way, as well, by default. Now, first thing we gotta do is update the repositories on our Pi. We'll do that with sudo, which is saying please in Linux, sudo apt update. This won't take very long, but it's enough time for a quick coffee break. Done. Next, let's install Tor, which is crazy easy. Check this out. Sudo apt install Tor. That's it, man. Do it. Hit enter for yes. And again, coffee break, celebration. Let's go. This is so cool though. We're installing Tor. Tor is installed. Now we're gonna do a few things to Tor to make this thing work. First, we're gonna open up our Tor configuration file by using the command sudo, please, nano, which is our text editor, my favorite. And the file is /etc/tor/tor or tor-rc, and hit enter. There it all is. Now don't let it scare you. We're gonna change just a few things here. Scroll down to where you see blah, 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 blah. Oh, here we go. This right here, the hidden service directory and the hidden service port. First thing we'll do is we'll uncomment those two lines of config. So just remove the hashtag there with your backspace. And we're not gonna change anything there. That's good actually. Now what is this doing? Well, this first line of config right here is where your private key and your public key or your .onion address is going to be stored. This line of config is what you're going to expose to the Tor network, the dark web. And expose might sound scary. No, it's fine, as long as you don't expose anything weird. Although it is the dark web, you might fit in. I don't know, let's do this. So anyways, here in Nano, I'll hit Control X to get out of there. I'll hit Y to say, yep, I wanna save it, and hit enter to save that file. And then we'll restart our Tor service by doing sudo service Tor stop, hit the up arrow, and then do start. Now let's check it out, make sure it's actually running. We'll do a sudo service Tor status to see if he's good. And if you're seeing something like active and it looks green and pretty, then you're solid, and I'm excited. Let's do this. Okay, so what just happened now is you already have your .onion address for your Tor service. Like, you're on the dark web, you're connected, you're in. So let's take a look real quick. Let's do cat, which if you don't know what that means, check out my latest Linux video right here. Cat, it'll be var lib tor hidden _ service / host name. Oh, we need some sudo permissions here. Sudo, please cat this. And there it is, right there. This is my onion address. This is my dark web website. And if you did just what I did, you have one too. Isn't that awesome? So I'm gonna grab mine and save that sucker for later. And by the way, you can go to that right now. It's already set up. Anyways, let's keep going. Now, right now you do have port 80 or the website port exposed to the dark web, but you don't have anything to show. You have no website, so let's do that right now. First, we're going to install Nginx. I'm gonna clear my screen here real quick, and the command will be sudo apt install Nginx, right? Did I get it right? Yeah, cool, we're good. Same old story, hit enter for yes, and good old long coffee break. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be. It's pretty quick though. And then we'll start Nginx by doing sudo service Nginx and start. And then we'll take a look at the status real quick, go our up arrow, change start to status, and yeah, active and running. If you see this, you're golden. Now right now your dark web website should be up. Let's check it out. I will see if mine is working. Grab my onion address and launch my Tor browser, and let's see what happens when we go there. Fingers crossed, here we go. Yes, it's up. How cool is that? Now sure, this is a default Nginx page, but this sucker's running on my Raspberry Pi, a dark web website. Think about that. And also, I didn't forward any ports on my router. I didn't do anything special at all with networking. It's just working. And seriously, how easy was that? Like, how cool? Yes. Anyways, let's customize our website. Let's at least make it look a little cool. So here we go. Back in our Raspberry Pi terminal here, we're gonna mess with a few things. First, we're gonna go to sudo, please, nano, our text editor, and we're gonna mess with the Nginx configuration. We'll do etc nginx, nginx.conf. Nope, you gotta spell it right. There we go. We're gonna make just a couple changes here to make our website a bit safer. First, we're going to uncomment this guy right here and this guy right here. Server tokens off, uncomment. And server name and redirect, uncomment. And then just under server tokens off, we're gonna add one more line, one more command, or config. It'll be port _in _redirect space off, and then colon. That's it. Control X to get out of there. Yes to yes, say yes, I wanna save it, and then enter, and you're good. We're gonna do sudo service nginx. I can never spell that right, it drives me crazy. Restart. And let's just check real quick and make sure it's still working. I'll refresh my site here. Golden, okay. Now we're going to customize our website. So real quick, we're gonna change directories to the website location in Linux, most commonly. So we'll do cd, and then we'll do /var and www. There it is. I'll do an ls to see what we're dealing with here. Okay, HTML. Let's go ahead and cd or jump into HTML, that directory. I'll do ls to list the contents once more, and then there, right there, the index.nginx.debian.html. That is what we're seeing right here. If I were to cat that file, there's all that config for that. Now, we don't want that, do we? So I'm gonna do something scary here. I'm going to delete it. So sudo remove that file. It's gone. And that was sudo rm, by the way. Now let's create a new file. So we'll do sudo nano index.html. And here we can create our own website. And I'll do something basic real quick. Okay, just some simple HTML. I'll do Control X, Y, enter. I'm out of there. And we'll restart Nginx once more with sudo service nginx restart. And let's see if our dark web website is updated. Let's refresh our page here. Yeah, look at that. Not too fancy, but I still did customize it, right? Now I want you to visit my website. I want you to use your Tor browser and go look at it. I am gonna edit a few things, make it look a bit better than what I have here now. And maybe I'll even have like a coffee discount code in there if you wanna get some coffee. So yeah, go check it out. But seriously, that's it. I mean, it was pretty quick. And off this little bitty credit card size, let me get him over here, Raspberry Pi computer, he's running a dark web website, and anyone can get to it as long as they're going through the Tor network, and I'm secure. Like, you can't find out where I am, even though it's sitting on my home network. And I can't find out who you are. Like, that's so cool. So anyways, let me know if you get this done. I wanna see your Onion websites. I wanna see what you do, so comment below your Onion websites. I'll see if they'll be allowed and I can go look at them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, that's the video. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think of the video in the comments. And of course, don't forget to hack that YouTube algorithm. Hit that like button. Again, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Let's hack YouTube today, ethically, of course. And yeah, that's all I got. I'll catch you guys next time.